Welcome back to Business Week here on Arise News. From diesel price surges to decentralized energy control, the electricity conversation is shifting and Lagos is right at the heart of it. In a historical regulatory pivot, Lagos earlier this year officially took over its electricity market operations through LASEC, the Lagos State Electricity Regulatory Commission. Backed by the 2023 Electricity Act, this bold move transfers oversight from federal to state hands, making Lagos one of the few Nigerian states to assume full control of its power ecosystem. But what does this mean for investors, households, and businesses? Will Lagos become a model for subnational energy reform, or are there still regulatory and infrastructure hurdles ahead? With the Lagos State Investment Summit just days away, we're joined by Biodun Ogunleye, Honorable Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, to help us unpack the future of energy in Africa's commercial capital. Great to have you with us, sir. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
I'm delighted to be on the studio, and I look forward to a nice time.
Yes, thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner. Lagos State, the center of excellence. It should be the center of excellence in the energy sector. So tell us, what are your key strategic imperatives for the energy and mineral resources space in this state?
Okay, thank you very much, Olake. We have had to look at the whole ecosystem, and over a number of months of rigorous planning for this moment, we have come up with a strategic implementation plan that will see us address energy as a business within the Lagos environment. And the business is also one that will guide how we grow the city, how our people are empowered further and not have their position power eroded by high energy prices. We're also going to have a look at how do we ensure that the availability and the ability for the system to self-regulate, to correct itself, is enhanced. Regulation has moved closer to our providers now, and we have definite work steps that have been put in place to ensure that we develop a clean energy for the whole geographic area called Lagos. You must remember that Mr. Governor started with saying that we must be real about the fact that we have a problem, and we must live out of self-denial. And he has requested that everybody involved in the value chain should look at how to ensure that the infrastructure is enhanced. Okay. We create a real partnership among the private and the public sector, and we bring in real investment so that at the end of the day, we build a sustainable, investable ecosystem that will, at the end of the day, deliver reliable power, support industries, make our people live a comfortable life, and make us one of the best when it comes to livability index, and at the end of the day, creates more and more opportunities that make Lagos the place for every Nigerian to aspire to come live.
Yeah, thank you for starting with your strategic goal and the objectives of the governor. Now, just looking at this issue of decentralizing the electricity market and Lagos taking ownership, what can citizens expect as a result of that regulatory move in terms of how much power is being delivered, the efficiency of that? And you also referred to the challenges. I mean, the population of this state, I don't know whether we're tracking 25 million people now, never mind the huge industries, factories, businesses that require electricity. What is the current state of electricity generation and supply in Lagos? And what specifically are you doing to bridge that gap? Maybe you can give us a few numbers and tell us how this regulation is helping to improve the landscape.
Okay, the first thing you want to note is the fact that we currently import all the electricity resources that we use within the Lagos space. So, first strategy number one, that does not speak very well. And Mr. Governor has insisted that Lagos must have its own resource base that is energized, that ensures that the people of Lagos are able to, and every time the national grid goes down, the old city too must not go down along with it. So we are first and foremost, we have looked at what are the security issues. Based on the security issues, energy security issues, based on that, we have designed a resource plan that sort of outline where we have comparative advantages, and then investors are being invited to look at those areas where we have advantages, and to also be able to say to us, we will invest in this, we'll partner with you on this, we'll partner with you on that. And based on all that, we have come up with a strategic implementation plan. And we have started putting in place the structures that will help us drive that one. The first of the structure which you have noted is the Regulatory Commission. After the Regulatory Commission, a couple of other structures will come in to ensure that the power enforcement team, the electrification agency is also running already, and then we are going to have an investment arm. So all that coming together will create a new ecosystem that will first and foremost ensure energy is available. Availability is the first issue. It's available. Then the infrastructure for transmission and distribution are resilient. And then after that, after those two are done, then we have to make sure that pricing is friendly, is pocket friendly, is in line with economic realities of the Nigerian, of everyone living within the Lagos space. And then we will now be able to see the city becoming more competitive relative to several other cities, and then we'll see these advantages that we'll have been able to harness becoming a source of additional growth on account of savings and the competitiveness that we're able to achieve with the plans that we have put in place.
Okay, so you talked about several things. You've talked about an investment arm, so I'd like to hear a bit more about that in terms of how much are we looking to invest in the state in electricity in terms of actual numbers. And then the competitive advantage. So are you leaning towards more solar, alternative energy? What is the strategy? I see that some of our street lights and lamps and infrastructure are now powered by solar. What is the evolution of that? What will it look like in the coming weeks and months? So let's talk about the actual strategic financial investment that's being made into the space and how much you're looking to attract into the space.
Okay, so we will be attracting trillions of naira into the space. And if I would
Is there
not
a target that the government has?
No,
Okay.
because it's supposed to be a public-private initiative. We're not going to limit. We want to take this in pockets, in chunks that can be swallowed by the investing public. So we will be looking at feeder by feeder improvement plans, plans that are not so mighty that everybody will start running away. But if you improve supply to Ikoyi, you improve supply to Ajegunle, you improve supply to Makoko, or maybe Mushin, what are the things you need? How many new transformers? Which lines do you need to reconduct? Based on that one, do we need to increase their tariff? Or can they still go within the existing tariff? The first goal that is set is that citizens must pay for what they use. So metering for all, 100% metering for all, is a strategic goal that Mr. Governor and the House of Assembly as enshrined in the law. So policy and implementation plan is being lined up to ensure that that is achieved. So I've been able to put straight numbers to it, but I can tell you it's going to be trillions of naira. Now, yes, we have shifted from diesel-powered street lights to solar-powered street lighting. You can see for the few implementations we have effected that we have more sustainability. We are able to also ensure that before the shift, you see me in the middle of the night chasing our suppliers up and down, ensuring that, oh, this place is not littered. Complaints are coming in from all over the place. But today, for the areas that we have made the shift, there is peace of mind. So the old city, about 50,000 lighting units will be changed over time. But government has already committed to about 22,000. And the suppliers are already working at ensuring that that gets to the streets as fast as we can get that one. Now, the other issue you mentioned relates to the economics of this. We have always encouraged for everyone that have the opportunity to look at the cost benefit of getting involved with renewable energy to make investments in that space. I will tell you something. We are trying to harness about 1,000 megawatts of renewable energy resources into the independent from solar into the independent Lagos power system that we're working on. Now, that will consist of a lot of solar farms on our swamps, on some part of our lagoon that is not committed. Some guys have even come up with hydrogen as a solution that we can use in the city. So you are going to see a lot of innovative renewable solutions coming into that basket for Lagos. Within the next 2 years, we hope to see new generation capacities being injected, and they will come in with the consciousness that this should be least cost generation, and this should be the direction this will go to.
Yes, clearly it means you also have projects to present to investors at the Lagos State Investment Summit. But before we go there, I wanted to ask about the relationship with the discos, Ikeja Electric and Eco Disco, and how some of your strategic plans, you're collaborating with them on your strategic plans, especially given the decentralization strategy around the electricity market. What does that collaboration look like, and what can Lagosians expect to be delivered from that collaboration?
The collaboration basically is emphasizing the need for them to reimagine their business.
Okay.
To also understand the not just the peculiarities of Lagos and Lagosians, but the peculiarities of the needs of the kind of urban population that we have in Lagos. There is this back and forth argument about ability to pay. But for as long as a lot of people have meters, they will be able to control their usage. It's demand side management and pay. So first, government will support 100% metering. Second, government will support ensuring that those meters don't become carcass or readily bypassed and all that. But we expect also for the discos to be able to take in additional capacity, to be able to put in additional investment, and to be able to meet up with the performance indices set by the Regulatory Commission. Now, what you will see now is that regulation is now very close to them. So we're not just measuring what is the old disco doing. We're saying, what are you doing in Shomolu? What are you doing in Ajegunle? What are you doing is there anywhere where you need support? Okay. Face the ones you can handle. The ones you cannot handle, look at how you continue to be the landlord. But we create smaller transactions within those spaces so that
maybe off-grid solutions or that can
between off-grid solution, some bilateral contracts, just get additional traders that will get more creative with ensuring that they monitor those meters, they reduce energy theft, and as they are doing all that, they're also ensuring availability. Okay,
great. Thank you. You know, there are two more issues I wanted to broach with you. First of all, is really around the exploitation of oil and gas minerals in Lagos State. Of course, we know whatever minerals are found within the ground are the purview of the federal government, but I want to understand the strategy there, because fossil fuels are still an important part of Nigeria's energy mix and actually really central. And maybe you can tie that with whether you're looking at any collaboration with the Dangote refinery since it's hosted in Lagos State. And then finally, a few words on the Lagos State Investment Summit coming up next week. So whichever you'd like to start with.
To start with.
Why the summit? You know, why do we need another summit on investment in Lagos?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me start with cooperation with every investor coming into Lagos. Dangote is one of them. And I can assure you, beyond giving Dangote land, there's been cooperation as to access, there's been cooperation as to, hey, why don't we do a port? Okay, so what tax, what environment do you think will work for you? What do we need to do better in this way, in that way? And at the end of the day, you must remember that for every investor, every genuine investor that is actually putting their foot on ground in Lagos, the Lagos State government have a commitment to ensure you succeed. And within the energy space, we have created energy hubs. So don't tell us that there is no land. We're able to say, come, let's look at what your needs are. Let's see what we can provide for you and partner with you to make things happen for us. Now, the Lagos Investment Summit 2.0 is happening on the 9th. And we are going to be showcasing details of a lot of the transaction, not only from energy and mineral resources, but from other ministries within the states too. We look forward to showcasing transactions that will make investors that are serious about where do I put my money within this environment to see windows of opportunities where both regulatory readiness, policy readiness is all done with. And what we are talking about is how do we ensure that the support you require is delivered to you, and then you also create opportunities for citizens of the state to be gainfully employed and to also have a better living standard within the Lagos environment.
Yeah, and do we know how the oil and gas production in Lagos is looking like? How are we doing on that front?
Okay, so the first, I missed that one. The first thing we enjoy doing now is that we are the base. So virtually all the oil and gas companies
because they have
now,
a lot of their headquarters.
Those who are offshore Lagos, offshore several other cities, I found this more attractive to station in Lagos. So we are providing them all manner of support to make their stay in Lagos a most rewarding experience. Now, for the oil and gas infrastructure that the oil and gas resources that we have in Lagos, there are a couple of exploration activities that are ongoing. New acreages and all that have been awarded. In the next 2-3 years, we will see more movement in that area, and we hope at the end of the day we will return back to the table as one of those that are getting what do they call it in the federal allocation?
For oil producing
states.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources of Lagos State, Mr. Biodun Ogunleye. Thank you so much for your time and all the best with the Investment Summit. You heard it here on the show, 9th of July, next week, the Lagos State Investment Summit 2.0. Well, that's all we have time for on Business Week. I'm Rolake Akikugbe Filani, but let's continue the conversation on X as always. Do have a lovely rest of the weekend. See you soon.